This is the Church of Reason. Welcome back, as we reach the final part of our exclusive interview with Mr. Winston Wu, spiritual leader of the Happier Abroad Forum. Mr. Wu, please continue.
Even if it's totally true what I say about not being allowed to talk to strangers, you're just not allowed to talk about that.
How so, sir?
I don't know why that is, but that is just an unspoken rule, and nobody dares to violate it.
Erroneously, some call it loser stigma.
There's just this loser stigma attached. If you say the stuff that I'm saying, you can't be honest and tell it like it is. It just pisses me off how you just have to suppress that.
Do you think people have private conversations about this?
People might talk about it in private conversations, but no one's going to put up a YouTube video and talk about it, or talk about it in alternative media, definitely not on the mainstream media.
Do experts touch this subject, Mr. Wu?
You don't see none of the figures, the smart people like Jordan Peterson, none of these independent philosophers like Stefan Molyneux, none of them will touch this, not even people in the truth movement like Alex Jones or David Icke.
What type of things do these truthers talk about, Mr. Wu?
All they're going to talk about is government tyranny and conspiracies. They won't touch the subject of the lack of social connection in America. They definitely won't say that in other countries people are more open to talking to strangers. Even if they talk about social isolation in America, nobody's going to draw a comparison and say it's a lot better overseas.
I don't think we should go there, sir.
You just don't go there. This is 1,000% taboo.
Beyond any doubt, you are the only philosopher to expose this.
I don't know why I'm the only one that has the guts to talk about it. No one dares. No one.
How about all those TED Talks?
You can watch all the TED Talks that you want. None of these cutting-edge thinkers on TED Talk touch this. There are a few psychologists on TED Talk that talk about social isolation in America, like Lisa Rankin, but she has no solutions like I do. She's not going to say, if you go abroad, even to Mexico, you'll find a lot more social connection, you'll feel a lot less isolated, people will be a lot more warm and natural, and there'll be this instant familiarity between strangers. You can talk to people just like you already know them.
Indeed, humans are social creatures. That's how we are.
Just how the world has been for thousands of years. Before modern industrial society, people were not isolated like this. It's not natural. This is a problem in the modern world, especially modern America.
How about during the Dark Ages?
Nobody in medieval Europe or the Renaissance or ancient Rome was like that. Even in TED Talks like Lisa Rankin, she may talk about social isolation and how people are more lonely today than ever before, but no way in hell is she going to mention that if you go abroad, it'll be different.
Are you saying this would be censored out from TED Talk?
If someone on TED Talk talk about that or draw that comparison, they'd be censored and banned and be edited out.
Have you been censored, Mr. Wu? Do you carry that badge, so to speak?
I've had interviews in the past that were censored and edited out when I talked about this because it's just way, way taboo. It's many lines across. You just don't go there. I don't know why, but I just swear you just don't go there. Nobody dares to. Nobody. No way. You won't find one person on TED Talk that's going to go there. And if I were to do a TED Talk and I talked about this, I'd be get censored too, edited out, or even banned.
They even banned someone like Graham Hancock.
If they'll ban somebody like Graham Hancock for talking about ayahuasca or psychedelics, they'll definitely ban this. This is way more taboo than talking about psychedelics or ayahuasca.
Moving along, Mr. Wu, you have this theory about a social rule.
There's kind of a social rule or political correctness that requires you to always say that people here are very friendly. You just have to say that everywhere you go. It doesn't matter where you go. Even if you're in New York or California, you just have to say people here are very friendly, very wonderful.
I always wondered, sir, are conservatives friendlier than liberals?
Red states are friendlier than blue states. Red states, Republican states, tend to be more down to earth.
Did you ever wonder why, Mr. Wu?
I don't know why, that's just my experience.
Well, someone should speak up about this.
Somebody should. Might as well be me. Maybe this is God's calling for me to talk about this. Maybe the universe has appointed me to do this, like the Force in Star Wars.
Do you believe regular people are prepared to understand this approach?
It's not like this is rocket science. It's not like this is quantum physics or something complicated. The stuff I'm talking about is very simple. It's just basic logic. It shouldn't be out of the intelligence range of the average person to see, yet nobody talks about it.
We all need a way to stand out from the crowd, sir.
It's not like I'm some hot chick or beautiful girl that can attract people with just my face or image. If you're an attractive girl, you don't have to talk about anything interesting. You can just show your face and talk about anything. You can be an airhead and get a lot of viewers and subscribers.
Since we started this broadcast, we received dozens of requests to learn about your forum.
You can visit my website where I talk about this and a lot more. The address is www.happierabroad.com.
What kind of stuff do you talk about, Mr. Wu?
I talk about a lot of taboo topics nobody will touch, and we also have a very big discussion forum where you can participate and talk to other people.
Thank you, Mr. Wu, and we hope to have you back soon. This concludes our interview. You are listening to The Church of Reason.